One thing that I've always found just a little bit, how should I put this, amusing about the language that the New Testament was written in, which is a form of Greek, an old form that is similar but not the same to the current Greek that's being spoken in Greece. But, it's a form thereof, same letters and all this good stuff. One thing that always, how should I put this? I found it funny, amusing, if not kind of interesting, or instructive for that matter, that the word that you hear when I read from the Bible, or you read from the Bible, it says to come. It's a word called erkomai. But when somebody goes somewhere, if I go somewhere, the word is erkomai. So to come and to go, it's the same word. You hear me right here. To come and to go is the same word. So when the end comes, you kind of have to figure out that there's just some motion happening, and it has something to do with the end of things. After all, this is a text about the end of things, so we'll get there. But somehow it's always amusing to me that this is a word that means coming and going, said at the same time. I see some of you smiling. And you should. And you should. Having listened even to this text that I just read from the 21st chapter of St. Luke, let's face it, this is dark things, portents in the heavens above, there will be signs, there will be persecutions, there will be insurrections, there will be famines, there will be plagues, there will be earthquakes, there will be wars. They will all come. And they'll all go. And the end will come. But it's the same word. So will the end go away one of these days as well? Just think about this. Yeah, our young sister Emily Shaw kind of coined, I'm not sure how she did this, but she coined this little phrase saying, it'll all be all right in the end. And if it's not all right, it's not the end. She doesn't know how biblical she's speaking. Just think about this. It's just, the words of Jesus as he's speaking of some of the realities that you and I kind of know. Things somehow don't go on forever the same way. And what happens when all these things are going on? And when we're looking at all these insurrections and wars and things that really trouble everybody around us? When Jesus gets done with this sayings about the end, you know what his last words are? His last words are, when these things begin to take place, stand up, lift up your head, your redemption is drawing near. I've become a friend of those words, and also the words where Jesus is saying, don't waste your time trying to figure out what you're going to say. Just wait. It'll become obvious. When the time arrives, or goes for that matter, it'll become obvious. Keep your eyes, keep your hearts, keep your souls deeply immersed in the Scriptures, in the Word of God, and in all that is charity, that is mercy, that is love, and that is grace. Keep it there, and it'll become obvious. No matter how hard the times get, what it is that we must, should, and ought to say. Even if sometimes there aren't many things to say. Ever been in a place where you had no words to speak to the situation? Did you say something anyway? Did you say something anyway? Probably a bad idea, right?
Gets you into trouble.
Sometimes just being there and being the physical embodiment of the peace of the moment is what is needed. I figured out by also reading the story of Jesus that sometimes these folks who scream for him for mercy, for healing, they kind of know that It's already pretty much happened because he's in the room, because his presence just sort of, enliven things for them, which is why he keeps saying, you know what, your faith has made you well. And now I am here, as he always is. In all these things, says the Gospel of Luke, and says the entire New Testament, in all the disasters that befall this world, Christ is present, Christ is present, Christ is present. And he won't go away. As for all the things that happen, yeah, they have this strange thing that they both come and they go. And yes, even the end, it comes and somehow it goes again. You know what? I mean, these things are called apocalypses, and when things just go horribly weird and all kinds of stuff has happened that is just not good in our eyes. Haven't you had some in your own life? I mean, frankly, I hate to break it to you, for rock bottom has a basement too. Just think about it. Haven't you had some? Has disaster not struck your life at some point? So if it has, what are you doing here? The end has come, right? And then what did it do? It went. And so says the gospel here. Yes, the end of many things that we hold right here on earth, maybe too precious. Those things will come. Christ is still here. Christ is risen. He's risen indeed, and he is eternal, and he is our eternal peace. The peace that will not go, that just shows up, that becomes manifest, that transforms. The peace that is the stuff that is resurrected from the grave. It becomes eternal, even in your life. We all have had a little apocalypses in life. When life changed and turned around completely. You're here now, aren't you? And I'm one who wears out brake pads for these little guys up there. I know, I've looked at you, for a couple of minutes now. You've wondered why I have a squirrel leaning on a feeder line up there. I brake for these people, When I first got into my house and insulated the attic, for that matter, every time I opened a wall, one of these guys had left me a few presents that they'd been there. I've never seen so many walnuts in my life. My house was 50% weight of walnuts. They all kind of went away. But these characters here, and I know a lot of them meet their apocalypse on the road. I try not to be the cause of that apocalypse. But I love the fact that they tend to live in the moment somehow, which is probably why they stay in the road for us to run over. They can't quite figure out which way to go after they've taken the first 3 steps. But boy, do they live in the moment that has been given to them, and they live it to the fullest, as if they had this complete trust that, whatever will happen, we'll be okay. Be okay. There's plenty of nuts out there. Besides that, people like John keeps putting out birdseed. And people like my wife. And you.
I don't put
So they live. Jesus uses sparrows. I like squirrels better. Suey. Behold the squirrels. Winter is coming for them every year. And they scramble all summer long. But they seem to do it with just this happy zeal. And a bunch of energy that doesn't seem to end. And they don't seem to be afraid, even of my monster truck. or of Joy's little car. They just are there. The moment's here and I'm there. life is probably a lot better if we do the things that the day has set in front of us, if we enjoy the grace and the peace that the day has brought, that even amongst the cold we'll like the fact that the windows are bright in the sunshine. That we look at the beans in the backyard and say, you know what? We had 2 sets of beans this entire year, and now it's done, and there'll be more. This winter isn't the last one. They come and they go. Things come and go in between. We live in peace and in grace and in trust that in spite of all the apocalypses that God and the world and the evil one can toss at us, it'll be okay. For eternity does not go away. And it is claimed for you and I by Jesus Christ.